Hey guys, welcome back. It's your friendly neighborhood art teacher here with another lesson for all grades for Amanda Virtual Art Week 2 of the 2020-21 school year. So we're going to review a little bit about what we did, wrong window, last week. We first started with learning a little bit about me. Then we learned about when we have art. Kindergarten through third grade gets an art lesson posted on Tuesdays, and then there's a rotating schedule of Zoom meetings on Fridays. Fourth and fifth grade have Monday through Thursday meetings on Zoom, with fourth grade being Monday and Wednesday, and then fifth grade being Tuesday and Thursday. And any class that didn't come to see me gets a recorded lesson on Friday. Some of our classroom expectations for our Zoom meetings are things like use your student name. This was kind of a big thing last week. I can't let people in if you're not on my roll, so we need to have the right names on things. Turn on your camera. I also need to see that you're there. Once you make it into the Zoom class, I need to know you're there. And be on time. These are only 30-minute Zoom meetings, and we can cover a lot of information kind of fast. So if you show up at 9:20, you might miss a lot. And then we talked about supplies that you would need for class, like pencils, scissors, glue, coloring supplies, a sketchbook of some sort, including just a binder to put things in or a folder, and then watercolor paint. And what are we going to be doing today? I'm going to disappear. Woo! So you are going to be looking at, well, we're going to cover 4 things. Number 1, you're going to watch the video. Good job. I think you've already got that one done. Next, we'll talk about the Google form. This is just going to be an informal survey about your art supplies. You'll need to check your Seesaw or Google Classroom for the assignment and where to turn this in. And then you're going to use AutoDraw. I'm going to walk you through how to use AutoDraw next. So, AutoDraw.com is going to be what we are using for today's project. This is what the actual canvas of AutoDraw.com will look like. What is AutoDraw.com, you ask? It is a fantastic little web program that is a paint program, on the web, that will let you take whatever you draw, and I'm going to change my color real quick, and if you just scribble something, it's going to come up with a whole bunch of icons up here at the top that it thinks you meant. So the number one thing that it thinks I just drew is a seahorse. If I didn't like that, I can hit the undo button, and I can go down here and it thinks that I also try to draw Big Ben. That's impressive. Or maybe it says, oh, you were just doing a squiggle. So I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to restart all these, because before we go any further, I'm going to show you a couple of the actual commands and how to work with things before you get started on drawing. I'll move my window over here so I'm not in the way. Alright, so before you go any further, I want you to look up here. This is your menu. If you need to start all over, or if you need a different canvas, this is where you can pick different types of paper. This is also where you will download your file. This is important. You want to make sure that you know you can download it here. You can share it to me if you would like, because you will have my email, or you can copy the link and send that to me, but don't worry too much about that one right now. Here is a how-to, so if for some reason you get, you don't remember anything that I'm telling you, it will have a how-to on how to do things. And I don't need to actually show it to you right now. And this is a really cool one. Shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts. It doesn't say anywhere on there copy or paste. You have to use the keyboard shortcuts. So if I want to copy something, I have to press the control button and the C button. And if I want to paste it, I can use that one. If you want to explore with this, awesome, go for it. And close that. So, and this is a little way that you can find out more about the artist and the people who've been working on it, which is fun. So I'm going to close that window. What do all of these over here mean? Well, down here at the bottom, that says delete. I don't have anything to delete yet, so it's in gray. Same thing for undo. This would zoom in if I were trying to do more, or I can do less. You can also change where your screen is, and look up here at the top, I'm at 200% zoom right now. I'm gonna go back to 100%, and I want to, there we go. This is if you just want to draw some shapes. Now you got to pay attention to where you put or start your shape. Since I started it up here, if I want that in the middle of my paper, I'm going to have to grab this guy right here called select, and I'm going to select and make sure that circle is selected. And let's talk about select button, or the select tool. So when I select out here, the little boxes around it disappear. But if I hit select again, these little boxes appear. These boxes do different things. This box makes my circle go bigger down. This box makes it go bigger, oof, out that way. This won't be easy to tell because it's a circle, but I can rotate it that way. I'll show you with another one. And some of you may have seen that if I click and drag it, it flips it. We'll talk more about that. So since I don't want to keep this circle, I'm going to delete. This is fill. We don't have anything to fill up right now except for the paper, so I don't need to do that. This is where you can add a text. I'm going to put text up here and write, this is my AutoDraw, without a Q. If you want to keep that, you can keep it. If you don't, you can delete it. This is the normal draw button. I'm going to change that. So this is just a normal pen. If you were drawing with this one and you make a squiggle, it doesn't do anything because this is the normal one. This isn't the AutoDraw version. So since I don't want to keep that, I'm going to hit the undo button and undo it. If you are paying attention, you look up here on the left, you can change the size. So I can do a tiny line. If I change it over here, I can do a bigger line. If I put it at the end, I can do a giant line, but I don't need any of those. So I want to do select. I'm going to select that one, and I want to hit delete. Then select and delete, select and delete. So what is this one? This is the one we're looking for. This is the fancy one called AutoDraw. So we're going to go through and look. It's going to make things like, oh, it thinks I was drawing a shovel. That's okay. I can start with a shovel. Then if I do that again, because I was going to try and draw a flower, I'm going to add the top and, still no flower. What's going on? So maybe I need to add some petals, and oh, look, it's going to change it into a flower. So this magic button right here, the one that's got like the little stars around it, that is the AutoDraw button. So I've got my big flower here, and it's really big. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to make it a lot smaller. Remember how I told you that it would, you can tilt it? That's the one on the top. I'm making it tilt. And then I'm going to move them down here. And I'm using my mouse button, or the keyboard buttons again, Control C. And then I'm going to hit Control V, and look, I got another one. Control V, yeah, I got another one. And Control V, and I got another one. And I'm going to move my garden shovel, and I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a, whoops, see? I tried to do something without hitting AutoDraw. So I'm going to do, and I'm going to see if it sees it. Yes! It sees that I drew some grass. So I'm going to hit the auto select button again. Control C, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to do one. Oh, I just keep copying it. because Miss Franz is hitting the wrong button. And I'm going to put here, and I'm going to put that down there. I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to make it look, I don't need you, so I'm going to delete that one. So I just made like a little garden out there. Now I can go over to the fill button, and if you see this right here, this is where all the colors live, and look, there's even more if you go to the side. So I'm going to hit this guy down here. I'm going to hit fill, and I want to see if I can make, oh, there's some grass, there's some grass. Well, you hit that and it turns everything into grass. There's grass, there's some grass, there's some grass, and I can even go in and get my little leaves. And I can change my colors, so I'm going to do the insides of each one of these, and then I will make 4 different colors. Actually, I think I'll just do that, because if I make it blue, it's going to end up looking like the blue sky behind it. So let's find some, whoops, come back, do a nice bright yellow, and then a red. And then I can do the blue sky. I know it colored in my shovel. That's okay. Sometimes it'll happen with that. And I'm going to see if I can add one other thing. So if I draw on this with blue, you can't see it. It did see what I drew, but you can't tell what I drew. So let's see if I can turn that into a, nope, can't turn it in. I think you have to be on the right color beforehand. So let's back up. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to pick white. Then I'll do the, there we go. And then I can hit fill in, and now I've got a cloud in the sky. So you guys are going to get to explore AutoDraw. I'm going to do one other thing to explain or show you something with AutoDraw. If you were trying to draw something and it doesn't immediately get it, let's say that you're trying to draw a tree, that it doesn't know that that's going to be a tree. It thinks I have a line, it thinks that I'm trying to draw a leg, but it's not one of those. So I'm going to go back to the box, and do you see how it's got this gray box around it? If you continue your drawing in the gray box, see how it got bigger? It will consider that one thing. And then I will add this up here, and it's okay if it goes out because the gray box went around it, and look, now it thinks it's a tree. Now it thinks it's a tree. But if you were doing, I'll go back some more. If you're here, but then you start drawing right there, oh, look at that, it's actually smart. I thought it would go, oh, it's going to keep going out. Well, let's see. Maybe I can make a forest. What does it think? Nope, it still just thinks it's one tree, but that's okay. So you can add things to what you started drawing. Let's close. Well, I want to get that. So when you were done, I wonder if I can go back to my nice picture. Nope, I went too far. I lost my picture. That's okay. So when you are done and you've got your picture, don't forget to go up here to the 3 lines and download it, because you are going to be showing me what you turn in. So what I want you to do is pick something to draw. I tried to draw one of my dogs. You can kind of see it's right there in that little picture. It looks a little weird, but I think it's really cute, by using AutoDraw. If you can't think of something to draw, you can use my inspiration on this side. You can draw something you did over the summer. Draw, oops, that should be draw your favorite place outside, not draw your a place outside. Make a hero, make a robot, make an alien, or just make a scribble and see where it goes from there. Those are fun too, to figure out what's going to happen. The next thing we want you to do is to go to your Seesaw or your Google Classroom for the place to upload your picture. There will be a spot. I've seen on Seesaw that people have already uploaded pictures for STEM, so I know that you can upload pictures from there, and it should be pretty easy from Google Classroom too. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the Google Forms. There's going to be a link in your Seesaw or your classroom or your Google Classroom. Let me get back in here. Oh, I keep moving the wrong window. This is just an informal survey for me to find out what kind of supplies my students have at home. I'm not judging anybody by it. I just want to see if it turns out everybody in the school has a chance to or has access to yarn. That lets me know what kind of projects I can do. I'm not telling you to go out and get these things if you can't get them, but if you've got stuff like the watercolor paints or anything like that, cool. I just want to find out. While the link is written up here, it will also be in your Seesaw or your Google Classroom. So don't worry, you don't have to sit here and copy down that gobbledygook. It would be helpful if these would be done by the end of August. All right, so what's the next thing to tell you? Have fun. Go explore AutoDraw. Figure out what you want to do. You don't have to do just one picture. You can do 2. You can do 3. You can pick the best out of 5 pictures that you do. I want to see what you've done. And if you end up with any questions, I'll move myself out of that way again. Learning how to move my windows. You can always email me at afranz@amanaacademy.org. Bye, y'all. Look forward to seeing your pictures.